79-year-old resigned CIA operator, Malcom Howard, has made a progression of amazing cases since being discharged from healing facility in New Jersey on Friday and advised he has a long time to live. Mr. Howard claims he was associated with the controlled destruction of World Trade Center 7, the third building that was devastated on September 11. Mr. Howard, who worked for the CIA for a long time as an agent, claims he was tapped by senior CIA operators to chip away at the undertaking because of his designing foundation and early vocation in the destruction business. Prepared as a structural architect, Mr. Howard turned into an explosives master subsequent to being scouted by the CIA in mid-1980s. Mr. Howard says his broad involvement in planting explosives in things as little as cigarette lighters and as extensive as 80-story structures. The 79-year-old New Jersey local says he chipped away at the CIA operation they named New Century between May 1997 and September 2001, amid a period he says the CIA was all the while taking requests from the best. Mr. Howard says he was a piece of a phone of 4 agents entrusted with guaranteeing the devastation was successful. Mr. Howard says the World Trade Center 7 operation is exceptional among his pulverizations, as it is the main decimation that we needed to imagine wasn't an obliteration work. He asserts he had no issue proceeding with the misdirection at the time, since when you are a nationalist, you don't scrutinize the inspiration of the CIA or the White House. You expect the greater reason for existing is for a more noteworthy great. They pick great, faithful individuals like me, and it makes me extremely upset to hear the poop talk. John Kerry admits WTC7 was brought down by controlled demolition. Be that as it may, even he concedes that now, thinking back, something wasn't right. No great has originated from this. This isn't the America we envisioned. Explaining how the building was purchased down, Mr. Howard says, it was an exemplary controlled obliteration with explosives. We utilized superfine military review nanothermite composite materials as explosives. The critical step was getting a large number of pounds of explosives, circuits and start systems into the working without causing excessively concern. In any case, practically each and every office in the Building 7 was leased by the CIA, the Secret Service, or the military, which made it simpler. Mr. Howard clarifies that WTC7 was stacked with explosives in key spots in the month, paving the way to the day that changed the course of American history. On September 11, while the North and South Towers consumed, wires were touched off in World Trade Center 7, and nanothermite blasts burrowed out the building, decimating the steel structure, evacuating the fortifications, and permitting the workplace discharge to tear through whatever is left of the building, emptying it out like a shell. World Trade Center 7 fallen into its own particular impression at 5:20 p.m., 7 hours after the obliteration of WTC1 and 2. The building stunned observers by descending at the speed of free fall, demonstrating that it experienced zero protection in transit down. Mr. Howard and his partners had done their activity. At the point when the building descended, it was such a surge. Everything went precisely to design. It was so smooth. Everyone was emptied. No one was harmed in WTC7. We were celebrating. We continued viewing replays of the obliteration. We had the bourbon and stogies out, and after that, out of the blue, the most peculiar thing happened. We as a whole stressed that it looked a bit excessively smooth. We watched the tape over and over and again, and we began to get suspicious. It resembled a controlled devastation. We thought, crap, individuals will scrutinize this. And after that we heard that individuals from the road were revealing that they heard the blasts amid the evening. When we were informed that the BBC bungled their report and declared to the world that the building fallen 20 minutes before it really did. At that point we truly thought the gig was up. According to the official 9/11 report issued by the administration, WTC7 crumbled because of uncontrolled flames that were caused by flotsam and jetsam that skimmed over from WTC1 and 2, which had been hit by traveler planes. In the event that the official account was valid, WTC7 would be the principal tall working on the planet to ever crumple because of uncontrolled fires, and the main steel high-rise on the planet to have fell into itself, because of office fires. Mr. Howard and his associates dreaded people in general would see through the official story and ascend against the administration, requesting to become clean. There were such huge numbers of last details, so much proof abandoned. We figured people in general would be on top of it. We thought there would be an open uprising that the media couldn't overlook. They'd be subsidizing examinations and requesting to know why they were being deceived. We thought they'd discover substance composites in the region that would demonstrate Building 7 was exploded. We thought there would be a transformation. It would go the distance to the best, to President Bush. He'd be dragged out of the White House. Yet, none of that happened. Nearly no one doubted anything. The media shot down any individual who challenged questioned anything they were told. Take after the cash. Mr. Howard claims he has no immediate learning about the decimation of North and South Towers of the World Trade Center, clarifying that CIA operations are particular and that it is regular to take a shot at a bigger undertaking while just understanding a little bit of the confound. 9/11, Larry Silverstein designed new WTC7 1 year before attacks. Be that as it may, he has guidance for specialists trying to comprehend the whole hound and work out who was behind the most pulverizing assault on American soil ever. Take after the cash. When you need to discover who is behind something, simply take after the cash. Take a gander at the exchanges made just before 9/11. These are the folks that recognized what was coming. The children of CIA operators, government authorities. Close relatives of the most intense men in America. Cheney, Rumsfeld. They all got rich. It wasn't recently the agreements granted to their companions in the development business and the wars and the kickbacks. It was insider exchanging. Numerous nations including Britain, France, Germany, Italy, Japan and Monaco propelled insider exchanging examinations in the wake of the 9/11 assaults, trusting that on the off chance that they could demonstrate Al-Qaeda agents benefited on money markets, then they could demonstrate the Fear Association was behind the assaults. And all the proof indicated substantial insider exchanging around 9/11. Italy's remote priest, Antonio Martino, stated, "I imagine that there are psychological oppressor states and associations behind theory on the worldwide markets." German National Bank President, Ernst Weltke, said his analysts had discovered practically certain confirmation of insider exchanging. Indeed, even CNN detailed that controllers were seeing ever clearer signs that somebody controlled budgetary markets in front of the fear assault and the expectation of benefiting from it. Mr. Howard says that a genuine investigation of who benefited on money markets from 9/11 would detach the heart from the theocracy in America. There is just a single association that traverses the whole world, and let me disclose to you now, it isn't and it never was Al-Qaeda. It's the CIA. There would never be a genuine examination. The whole shadow government, as you call them now, are ensnared. The 79-year-old, spending his last a long time at home, said he doesn't hope to be arrested following his admission, since then they'd need to follow every other person. They will simply utilize the media to assault me. They are all on the finance to stifle everything around 9/11.